Hello. How you doing today? Luna's got a new box. Put a new box there for her. She's like, oh yeah, I'm all into this. So I promised that I would be back because in the last video I was showing you some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle magazines, and I said once the Xardion game comes, I would update you just as a refresher. What was going on was, as a kid, I won a Xardion t-shirt, and the contest entry that I still have mentioned that it was in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle magazine. So I went ahead and bought a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle magazines, hoping that the contest entry would be in one of them. In the last video I kind of flipped through these, and you might remember that I didn't sound all that hopeful because of the dates on them. Well, turns out, of course it was the worst quality one, like the one that looked the most beat up, but it turns out that the winter 1992 issue, which is this sucker right there with Garfield on it, on the bottom, you can see it's like, when I catch the light, you can see it's like all crumpled kind of. It was by far the worst condition magazine. This also happens to be the one with that dark water thing on the back, which is also really cool. But I was flipping into the magazine, and literally the second page, I couldn't believe it, had the Xardion contest entry, which means that as a kid I owned this issue of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle magazine. And I was kind of flipping through, trying to remember, like, if any of it seemed familiar to me. And, like, kind of. But, yeah, I don't know that I would have necessarily remembered that on my own. So, you can see here, are you a metal maniac? If so, how many pieces did it take to build this awesome cyborg? Send in your best guess and win big with Asmic. And then it tells you that the first... obviously, I would have loved that first prize of a Super Nintendo system with 5 games. Even the second prize would have been awesome, but I won the third prize. 100 winners of the third prize, the T-shirt, and then fourth prize was posters. They even give you a hint here on the form. Somewhere on that form it said, like, where is that? I know I saw it. Oh, there it is. It's real small print there, but it says, hint, Xardion is built with between 500 and 5,000 pieces. So they gave you a bit of a hint there to help you along the way. Oops, turned on my mug warmer for a second there. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just it was this really kind of cool artifact from my past, you know what I mean? Like being able to find something that I used as a kid to enter a contest. These magazines are pretty awesome. There's a lot of just great content in them. Got creature feature there showing you the masks and costumes for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. There was a really nice ad in here. Oh, the posters. I gotta show you a couple of these posters. Each issue has a poster. I want to show you, there's one in particular that I'm like super psyched about. But that one's pretty cool too. There was a nice ad in here for Sega Genesis that I wanted to show you. It was right in the middle somewhere, I thought. There it is. Boom! I mean, that in and of itself could be its own poster, you know? So there's a lot of cool stuff in these. But I happen to have gotten, and I wasn't even thinking about this, I just was thinking about getting that ad, but I happened to get a couple of fall issues, right? And, of course, the fall issues have Halloween stuff in them. And it didn't even occur to me, like I wasn't even thinking of that, but one of the posters, and I gotta find which one it's in, but one of the posters in the fall issues is stellar. This one, that was one of the fall issues, and I was like, oh, alright, that's neat, I guess. But the other one is, it's amazing. Look at that. Happy Halloween, dudes. got a full-on Halloween Turtles poster. That's pretty slick. So I was super happy about that. And like I said, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff in these. I'm not going to go through each and every issue and like show you everything, but they had like in this Halloween issue there was a Trick or Treat comic with the monsters. That stuff, you know, that's awesome. I have to go through. I was gonna save these for maybe October and read through them. They got a fall crossword in here. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. Got an ad there for the Gargoyles Quest Part 2 on Genesis. No, on Nintendo. Alright, so like I said, you know, I wasn't going to go through that whole thing, but I wanted to update you and show you that I did get the Xardion contest. And then last time I showed you that, I think I showed you that I got the Xardion manual. So what I ended up doing is I ended up buying the game. I had already purchased the Famicom, the Super Famicom version of the game, but I wanted the Super Nintendo one as well. So they packed it pretty well. It looks like got it in here. Okay, that's that. Got it in a Ziploc bag. I went for this copy because it had the box. They had it listed for $80. It's not in the best condition. It's quite faded. But like if you wanted a perfect condition and all that kind of stuff, you're looking at $130, $140, maybe even more. I think like that was kind of like the base price of the good ones. So they had this listed for $80. I offered $60, thinking there was no way that would take $20 off, and then they accepted the offer. So I ended up getting it. Xardion for Super Nintendo. You can see, you know, it's got some pretty significant crushing here, and some fading and tears and stuff. That's, you know, these cardboard boxes. That's why it's so expensive to get like really good condition Super Nintendo complete games, because, and also Nintendo, because they, you know, for whatever reason they sold them in cardboard boxes at the time, and that shit didn't hold up very well. You had to be like a real conscientious collector to have like not really messed up the the cardboard boxes. Obviously there are cardboard boxes out there that are in great condition. I'll show you one in a second. Actually, I have something over there. But it had the case inside. You know, the games came in these like little cardboard things. So that's actually not in too bad shape, which is nice. And then the game, Xardion game, which is in pretty decent condition. So the kind of the internal math I was doing on this is that the cheapest loose cart that you could have gotten, and those had like busted up labels and torn labels on the back. The cheapest was like $40-something shipped. So I figured for $60, I think it was like $6 shipping. It was like maybe it's about $70 after shipping and taxes. I figured for the extra like, you know, $20 or so, get a better label and the box. And now I have a semi-complete, you know, with the manual and the box. It's semi-complete. I say semi because if for the full complete, you know, and that's even more money than I was saying earlier, they also would have come with a poster and an ASMIC like postcard thing that you were supposed to sign and like send in for some, you know, it's one of those registration cards or something. And then I think also just like a Super Nintendo. I actually do have extra Super Nintendo like game insert manual things I could put in with this, but it's missing the poster, it's missing the registration card, and the box is not in great shape. So even though it's like semi-complete and in acceptable condition, I would call this probably. So, but I'm not going to sell it. I wasn't buying it to sell, so that's just for me. It doesn't really matter. I still have to test the game, but it looks like it's in pretty decent condition, so I'm thinking that that's going to be cool. I think this brings to an end my little saga of Xardion. I mean, you could go crazy and go trying to get like the posters and, you know, other things that would maybe try to find that T-shirt or something. But I think I'm good. You know? I got the ad, a couple of versions of the game, manual, box. I think it's time I actually played the goddamn game. What do you think? We have a tornado watch today. It's quite gloomy. I think you might be able to tell from just how dim it is in here, even with all the lights on and everything. So I'm going to get going. I have some work to do, and then I'm going to be going to my brother's for our horror movie night that we do every Friday. And I will catch you guys soon in another video. Probably not going to get to the flea market this week, I don't think, if the weather continues like this. Breathe deep in the night, everybody. See you next time.